WWE 2K15 stands as a significant chapter in the saga of WWE games, but not entirely for reasons related to wrestling video game excellence. Released during a transitional phase in gaming technology, it promised to set a new benchmark, but instead became mired in controversy. From unexpected removals to legal battles, the game's journey was as tumultuous outside the ring as the WWE storylines that we were seeing on TV. In this video, we'll delve into the distinct issues that came with the release of 2K15, each contributing to its infamy. These issues not only challenged the players' expectations, but also mirrored the real-world complexities of wrestling entertainment. As we dissect these controversies, it becomes evident that WWE 2K15 was more than just a game. It was a reflection of the wrestling world's unpredictability, where the actions and decisions of a few could significantly impact the experience of many. As we dissect these controversies, it became evident that 2K15 was more than just a game. It was a reflection on the wrestling world's unpredictability, where the actions and decisions of a few could significantly impact the experience of many. Join us now as WrestleGamia looks at what made 2K15 one of WWE's most controversial video games ever. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we upload a video. Number 1. The Hulk Hogan DLC Removed. The controversy surrounding the Hulk Hogan DLC in 2K15 is a pivotal example of how real-world events can drastically affect a video game. In 2015, following the surfacing of Hogan's racist comment, the decision was made to remove his DLC from the game, a part of the much-anticipated Collector's Edition. This move was groundbreaking and controversial, marking the first time in the series that downloadable content was retracted due to a wrestler's off-screen behavior. The removal of Hogan's DLC from 2K15 had a ripple effect, highlighting the intricate relationship between a game's content and the real-life personas it represents. The decision to remove the DLC was not just about erasing a character from a game, it was a statement on the moral and ethical grounds, reflecting a growing sensitivity towards inclusivity and respect in the gaming world. This incident set a precedent for the franchise and the gaming industry at large. It underscored the responsibility of game developers to respond to real-life controversies, balancing the expectations of their audience with the need to uphold certain ethical standards. The Hogan DLC removal from 2K15 remains a significant moment, illustrating how a game can be embroiled in the complexities of the real world it seeks to represent. The CM Punk lawsuit. The involvement of CM Punk in 2K15 became a source of legal and public relations challenges for the game developers. Punk's presence in the game, particularly highlighted in the showcase mode which revolved around his famous rivalry with John Cena, became contentious following his acrimonious departure from WWE in early 2014. Rumors of a lawsuit involving unpaid royalties began circulating in September 2014 and were confirmed in a podcast with CM Punk and Colt Cabana in November of the same year. Punk expressed his confusion and frustration over being promoted in 2K15 after his departure from WWE, highlighting the complexities of licensing and character rights in video games. 2K's promotional efforts for 2K15 included a tweet that echoed one of Punk's famous lines, "Do I have your attention now?" This tweet became a focal point of contention, especially in the context of Punk's strained relationship with WWE and 2K. Punk's response to this later on was telling. After successfully suing the company, he reportedly received a big fat check, leading him to rhetorically ask if he had their attention now. This statement underscored the bitter irony of the situation. What adds an interesting twist to this narrative is the potential future inclusion of CM Punk in upcoming titles, like the rumored appearance in 2K24. Considering his past legal battles with 2K, this possibility underscores the ever-evolving nature of relationships in the wrestling and gaming industries. It's a testament to the unpredictable and often cynical nature of these words, whereas today's adversaries can become tomorrow's featured stars. The case of CM Punk serves as a fascinating reflection on the fluidity and complexity of the gaming and wrestling universes, where legal disputes and past controversies can give way to renewed collaborations and unexpected comebacks. The delay. The development cycle of 2K15 was marked by a notable delay, particularly for its next-gen versions on Xbox One and PS4. This delay was unusual for the series, known for its timely releases, and signaled potential issues with the game's readiness. While the last-gen versions of Xbox 360 and PS3 were released as scheduled, the delay of the next-gen versions raised questions about the developmental process. This delay was unusual for the series, known for its timely releases, and signaled potential issues with the game's readiness. While the last-gen versions for the Xbox 360 and PS3 were released as scheduled, the delay of the next-gen versions raised questions about the development process. The decision to delay the next-gen versions of 2K15 was a rare occurrence in the series and hinted at underlying challenges in adapting the game for the new consoles. It was an early indication that the game might not meet the high expectations set by its predecessors and the hype surrounding its next-gen debut. Ultimately, the delay of 2K15 for next-gen consoles was a harbinger of the issues that would plague the game upon release. It suggested that the transition to a new gen of gaming hardware was not as smooth as anticipated, leading to a final product that many felt was rushed and incomplete. This delay set a precedent within the series, highlighting the difficulties in maintaining a consistent release schedule while upgrading to a more advanced gaming technology. The content removed. 2K15 faced criticism for the significant amount of content removed compared to its predecessor 2K14. Fans were particularly disappointed by the absence of features such as Create a Finisher, Create a Story, Create an Arena, and Create a Title. Additionally, popular match types like Special Guest Referee and I Quit were also missing from the game. The removal of these features was a major point of contention for the gaming community. It suggested a step backward in the series' development, as these were elements that players had to come to expect and enjoy in previous installments. The lack of content in 2K15 led to the perceptions of the game being incomplete or half-baked, falling short of the standards set by its predecessors. The extensive removal of content from 2K15 is still regarded as a low point in the series. It exemplified the challenges faced in transitioning to a new console generation, where the ambition to push technological boundaries sometimes came at a cost of gameplay depth and variety. This decision remains a critical lesson in the game development, balancing innovation with the preservation of beloved features. The issues with the game. Beyond the controversies relating to its content and external factors, 2K15 itself was plagued with issues that affected the overall gaming experience. These range from creative decisions like ending My Career mode just as players won the WWE title, to technical glitches that marred gameplay. The transition from last-gen to next-gen consoles clearly came with significant changes. The gameplay of 2K15 often felt unfinished, akin to a beta or early access version rather than a polished final product. This was evident in the technical glitches and a general lack of refinement in the game's mechanics. The issues were not as severe as those in 2K20, but they were significant enough to detract from the overall experience. When 2K16 was released, it was clear it was the game 2K and Yuke's had envisioned for their next-gen debut. 2K15 in comparison felt like a stepping stone necessary but not fully realized. Its issues served as a learning experience for the developers, influencing the improvements seen in subsequent releases. Benoit content banned. The handling of Chris Benoit's content in 2K15 added another layer of controversy to the game. For the first time, a public ban was announced against uploading any Chris Benoit-related content using the game's new Game Face feature, which allowed players to upload face textures for created characters. The ban on Benoit content, initially met with strict enforcement, reflected the sensitive nature of his legacy in the wrestling world. The decision to ban Benoit content was one that likely did more bad than good. While it was rooted in the desire to distance the game from a controversial figure in Benoit, it only just inadvertently drew more attention to him. Gamers, even though outside of the 2K bubble, would become intrigued by the ban and sought to understand its reasons, inadvertently bringing Benoit's name back into the mainstream discussion. In later iterations of the game, such as 2K23, the approach towards Benoit content appeared to be relaxed. It suggested that WWE and 2K might have learned that silence on such matters could be more effective than sparking controversy. By not explicitly addressing the issue, they avoided reigniting discussions that could have overshadowed the game's other aspects. But there you have it, folks. What made WWE 2K15 one of WWE's most controversial video games ever? Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.